At the beginning of the movie, we see a man buried under the snow suddenly rise up. Surprisingly, he is still alive. After getting dressed and ready, he retrieves his knife from a piece of wood and continues his journey. The scene then shifts to two young children. The older brother's name is Jim, and he lives alone with his younger sister in a large house. He takes care of everything himself and seems completely independent. Jim sits on the stairs checking the darts in his gun. From a distance, it looks like a toy, but upon closer inspection, it is actually a tranquilizer gun. Its darts are used to stun targets. Meanwhile, he hears a voice coming from outside. He goes out and sees a man asking his sister about their parents. The man asks Jim the same question, but instead of answering, Jim takes his sister and goes back inside. Like a responsible adult, he locks and secures the house before sitting down to play with his sister. Meanwhile, strange creatures can be seen outside trying to break in. However, the house is heavily reinforced, so they cannot enter. These creatures are zombies, and they are determined to reach the children. At this point in the story, only 1% of humanity remains alive. The zombie outbreak has wiped out almost everyone else. Jim and his sister are not afraid of the zombies because dealing with them has become part of their daily lives. Later, while Jim and his sister are playing outside, Jack, the same man from the previous day, approaches them. This time, he has brought his partner with him. The woman affectionately picks up Jim's sister, but Jim immediately tells her to put the girl down. Afterward, the couple once again asks Jim about his parents. Jim explains that they have gone out to gather supplies. Hearing this, the couple reassures him. They tell him, "Don't worry, we are not here to hurt you. We will look after you until your parents return." The scene then cuts to another location. There, we see Aiden standing in the middle of the woods. Completely unafraid of the zombies, he eliminates everyone he encounters with his weapon. Back at Jim's house, the couple explores the property. They discover that it is fully equipped with enough amenities and supplies to last a long time. Realizing that the children appear to be living alone, they decide to stay. Jim secretly listens to their conversation. A feeling of uncertainty begins to grow inside him. He places his sister inside a secure room and locks the door. Jim's dog sniffs around him and starts barking. Night soon falls. When the couple notices a large number of zombies gathering around the house, they become frightened and switch off all the lights. Suddenly, the back door opens and someone attacks the woman. She is badly injured. Moments later, an unknown person drags her out of the house. What happens to her husband is never shown, and the story moves to the next morning. We see Aiden once again lying in the snow. When he regains consciousness, he realizes that he has been caught in a trap. As he frees himself, he notices Jim's sister standing nearby and laughing. Suddenly, a dart hits his neck. The moment Aiden pulls it out, he loses consciousness. It turns out that Jim had shot him with his tranquilizer gun. Sometime later, Aiden wakes up and heads toward the house. There he finds Jim waiting with his gun in hand. When Jim asks about his intentions, Aiden explains that he is a soldier traveling north in search of his wife. Jim is surprised because everyone who had arrived before was looking for food or medicine. Aiden is the first person he has met who is searching for a loved one instead. For some reason, Jim decides to trust him and invites him inside. Once inside, Jim offers him a deal. He says, "The power in our house is out. If you charge all the batteries by running on the treadmill, I will give you food, medicine, and a place to stay." Aiden agrees and enters the house. While talking, he asks Jim about his parents. For the first time, Jim tells the truth. He explains that his father is a scientist who has not returned for a long time. His mother works for a security organization and is currently away on a mission. During their conversation, Aiden notices a zombie outside. He immediately rushes out, grabs a heavy block, and crushes the zombie's head. Jim watches the entire incident, but covers his sister's eyes so she does not see it. When Aiden comes back inside, Jim asks, "Why did you kill that zombie? This house is fully protected. The zombies cannot get in." Hearing this, Aiden becomes confused and starts wondering what other advanced features the house might have. Regardless, he wants to complete his task and continue his journey as quickly as possible. He runs on the treadmill day and night without taking a break to recharge the batteries. Eventually, he collapses from exhaustion. Jim's sister brings him water and food, then offers him her hairpins and asks him to tie his hair back. After cleaning himself up, Aiden prepares food for the children. When they go outside, they discover that a zombie has fallen into one of their traps. Jim takes it down using his tranquilizer gun. Later, an elderly man and a young woman pass by the area, seemingly searching for someone. Aiden and the children return home, where Aiden looks through photographs of their parents. He also finds a set of car keys and immediately gets an idea. He could use the vehicle to reach his wife much faster and possibly save her. However, when he tries to start the car, he realizes it is damaged and beyond his ability to repair. As he leaves the garage, he notices an outhouse nearby. Strange noises are coming from inside. Before Aiden can investigate, Jim stops him. The group returns home, eats dinner, and gets ready for bed. We then see Jim handcuffing himself before going to sleep. The next morning, Aiden wakes up and notices that Jim is missing from his bed. Concerned, he goes outside and finds Jim repairing the traps used to capture zombies. While Jim is distracted, Aiden quietly enters the outhouse to see what is hidden inside. He finds very little there. There is only a mattress, a few pillows, blankets, and deep scratches covering the walls. The place gives him the impression that someone had been keeping a zombie there. Aiden returns to the house. Later, he notices a suspicious man secretly watching and examining the property from outside. Aiden immediately hides to avoid being spotted. At the same time, Jim's sister notices the stranger and cheerfully says, "Hi!" Aiden quickly grabs her and hides before the man can see them. As a result, they avoid being discovered. Seeing this, Jim realizes that Aiden has no intention of harming them. Because of that, he returns Aiden's weapons, which had previously been taken as a condition for staying in the house. Meanwhile, Aiden continues repairing the parents' car. Suddenly, they hear Jim's sister screaming. Everyone rushes outside to investigate. They discover that the same man who had been inspecting the house earlier has returned with several companions. The group has taken Jim's sister hostage. Jim fires his tranquilizer gun and stuns one of the men. Moments later, 2 other men suddenly collapse. They have been shot from a distance. The shooter turns out to be Jim's mother, who has finally returned. However, one of the stray bullets strikes Aiden, causing him to fall into the snow. As he lies there dying, memories of his wife flash through his mind. Sometime later, something unexpected happens. Aiden comes back to life. Even more surprisingly, all of his injuries have completely healed. He is shocked by what has happened, but Jim and his mother do not seem surprised at all. They invite Aiden inside the house and begin explaining his condition. A major revelation is uncovered here. Lena explains that most people infected by the virus lose control of their minds. They become violent, attack others, and eventually turn into zombies. However, a small number of infected individuals are different. These people are known as special zombies. Unlike ordinary zombies, they keep their intelligence and self-awareness. The benefit is that they gain extraordinary abilities similar to those of zombies. Just as zombies are extremely difficult to kill, special zombies also possess remarkable regenerative abilities. In simple terms, they become a hybrid of human and zombie. While this offers many advantages, it also comes with serious consequences. At times, the virus can temporarily take control of their minds. When that happens, they lose their senses, become violent, and do things they normally would never do. Once they return to normal, they have no memory of their actions. After hearing this explanation, Aiden realizes that he is also a special zombie. After all, at the beginning of the story, we saw him die and then return to life. Lena then reveals another shocking truth. Her son Jim is also a special zombie. The story flashes back and reveals that the person responsible for killing the couple earlier in the movie was actually Jim. That night, when the dog was sniffing him, it sensed that Jim was beginning to lose control. Realizing what was about to happen, Jim locked his sister inside the safe room to protect her. Afterward, he attacked the couple. This is the reason he handcuffs himself every night before going to sleep. As night falls again, Aiden dreams about his wife once more. In the dream, her mouth is covered in blood and she is holding a dead baby in her arms. The horrifying image overwhelms him and he begins to cry. Seeing his pain, Lena comforts him and reminds him that he is not the only person carrying grief. Lena begins telling Aiden her story. She explains that when her 2 children were born, both suffered from severe heart conditions that could not be cured. At that time, the zombie virus was spreading rapidly across the world. Her husband, who was a scientist, became interested in a rare group known as special zombies. While researching the virus, he developed a serum. When the serum was injected into Jim, it transformed him physically into a zombie-like being, while allowing him to keep his human mind. As a result, Jim became a super zombie and his heart condition was cured. Lena's husband believed everything would finally be okay. However, fate had different plans. One day, Jim accidentally bit his father and infected him with the virus. Unlike Jim, his father transformed into a regular zombie. With no other choice, Lena was forced to put an end to him herself. As she tells the story, she breaks down in tears. Suddenly, they hear Jim screaming outside. He is on the verge of entering another frenzy. Crying, Lena locks him inside the outhouse and sits outside the door. Loud screams and painful cries echo from within. No matter how difficult it is, she refuses to open the door. Watching this, Aiden feels sympathy for Lena. He tells her to get some rest while he keeps watch. The days continue to pass. Lena protects Aiden like a guardian, and Aiden supports Lena in return. Slowly, their lives begin to feel normal again. However, another problem soon appears. One day, Lena's daughter suddenly collapses in the snow. Lena quickly carries her inside. After examining her, she discovers that the girl's heart condition has returned. There is no available treatment, and no medical experts remain to help. Lena becomes deeply worried. Aiden suggests injecting the girl with the same virus that transformed Jim. He believes she could become a super zombie and survive just as Jim did. However, Lena refuses the idea. She has already experienced too much loss and does not want to risk losing another child. It is later revealed that Jim has recovered from his frenzy. Together, Aiden, Jim, and Lena care for the young girl. More days pass, and eventually the time comes for Aiden to continue his journey. Lena and Jim try to convince him to stay. Despite their efforts, Aiden says goodbye and leaves. A short time later, a group of people arrives at Lena's house. Their leader is searching for his missing daughter. She had run away with a man, and it turns out they were the same couple who visited Jim's house earlier. The man had previously searched the property as well. Since he could not find his daughter there, he continued searching the surrounding area. Eventually, he discovered her vehicle near Lena's home. This discovery leads the group to attack the house. Meanwhile, Aiden is sleeping outside. He suddenly wakes up after hearing approaching footsteps. When he notices a large group moving toward the house, he immediately rushes back to help Lena and the children. Inside, the group's leader is questioning Lena. He demands to know where his daughter is. Lena honestly tells him that she has no idea. However, the leader refuses to believe her because some of his daughter's belongings were found inside the house. At the same time, Aiden quietly sneaks inside. He finds Jim hiding in the kitchen and asks him about the intruders. After preparing his weapons, Aiden begins taking down the attackers one by one without being detected. Several members of the group are quickly eliminated. Eventually, he comes face to face with the leader. As soon as he appears, numerous guns are aimed directly at him. Instead of fighting back, Aiden suddenly cuts his own throat and collapses. He does this because he knows he can recover. At the same time, the extreme pain will trigger his transformation into a super zombie. Just as he expected, he regains consciousness within moments. Now in his enhanced state, he launches a brutal attack on everyone present. While Lena hides her children, Aiden wipes out the entire group. The next morning, Aiden wakes up covered in blood. He quickly realizes that he lost control and killed many people during the night. Gathering his courage, he enters the house. Inside, he finds a letter left behind by Lena. In the letter, she writes, "I am heading north with my children. If fate allows it, we will meet again someday. I know that you are traveling north as well." After reading the message, Aiden begins preparing for his journey. Outside, we see that the gang leader's daughter has also been infected. She is transformed into a zombie-like creature and is now attacking other zombies. And with that, the movie comes to an end.